In this video, I'd like to show you how to use the library databases to find sources for research or projects that you might be doing. There's one database in particular that's really helpful, so that's the one I'm going to show you. Now, I'm on the library's website, their homepage, and I just got to that by adding /library after the Santa Clara website. From here, a lot of people start their searches with one search because it pulls up any records, journal articles, books, whatever. But I find the results kind of confusing in the way they lay it out. So I like to use the library catalog for books, which I'll show you in a subsequent video. And then the databases is what I'll show you here. The journals and magazines can be a handy way to look for a journal to see if we have it in stock, but that's something I'll show you later. Right now we want to go to the databases tab. We have databases in all subjects, and so what you're going to want to do is scroll down to religious studies, and that will bring up a smaller list of all the databases we have in religious studies. The one that I want to use with you today is the ATLA Religion Database because it's one of the most comprehensive. Now, the window, the options where I can fill in my fields popped right up, but if you're off campus, you will have to log in with your SUID first in order to get to this window. Now, there's one other thing I would recommend that you do before you even start your search, and that is to take advantage of the sign-in feature, especially if you think that this searching for sources might take you a while. Because when you sign in, it'll save all of the results that you identify you might want to look at in this folder, and even when you sign out or the computer times out, or if you go to a different computer, it'll keep everything in that folder, and all you'll have to do is sign in, and it'll know it's you, and it'll pull them all up. So I'm going to go ahead and do that just to show you how that works. I happen to have already created a username and password, but of course you can create that account the first time that you do it. So let me pop mine in. All right, don't want to save it. I consent to having all my personal data stored by you. Alas, we give away our lives, don't we? Hopefully not our lives. All right, so now I know I'm signed in. And now I want to do a search. Let's say, because I'm a New Testament person, I'm looking for something having to do with wealth and the Gospel of Luke. I want to show you something kind of interesting here. If I type in Gospel of Luke and I hit my search button, I'll come up with some results. Before I do hit the search button, though, I'm going to limit my search a little bit more. Since this is a master's program, we tend to prefer professional journals that have been reviewed by blind reviewers. That is, they're not blind, but they don't know who the author of the article is when they review it, and they give an objective assessment. So you want to have that vetting process behind you. A lot of those folks are doing some of the work for you here, picking good sources. And I'm going to hold down the Shift key after I've clicked on article so that I can click a couple different types of source simultaneously. And since I only can read articles in English, not quite true, but true enough for our example here, I'm going to limit it further that way too. Now, when I hit the search button, I get 5 results, which doesn't strike me as correct because I know the Gospel of Luke has more material on possessions and wealth than any other gospel. So I'm going to just take Gospel of Luke off and adjust my search. See what comes up. Oh, and it just dawns on me, boy, Luke, if I just let it pick any field, it might pick articles that are written by somebody named Luke. So maybe I'll also adjust that a little bit so that Luke is a topic, a subject. Now let me do that search again. You might have to do a lot of this kind of trial and error to maybe even putting in synonyms for the words you initially thought might be relevant, because the database is using subject keywords that you might not know off the top of your head. So just play around with it a bit, and now I've got it down to 53 sources that relate to my topic. Now, in some cases, you'll see that there's a PDF of the article right there in the database, and that's really handy. But Calvin is not something I'm studying. I'm studying the original Gospel of Luke. So I might want to go through all of these and just see if there's anything that relates to the original Gospel. Well, here's one. There's no PDF of it, but that's okay. I can find it. I'm going to add that to my folder by clicking this little plus folder sign here, and you can see the icon changed. And let's just say I pick a few more. All right, let's just say I've picked that many. Now you'll notice that the folder icon is opened up and there's a little document in it. That means that you have things in your folder. And at any point you can go to that folder, click on it, select all the things that you've just picked, and you can save them as a file or email them to yourself. I like to save them as a file, though I don't need the HTML link. And I think I'll pick something close to the style guide that GPPM uses. Let's just pick MLA. And if you save them, what it will do is save you the sources. You'll have to clean them up a bit to paste into your bibliography, but this at least gets you the basic information. So that is how to find sources and how to save them in the ATLA religion database.